Here.
Here. Here. Everyone please rise for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before you seat, I'd like to just take a few moments and we bow our heads in prayer for all of the people that are suffering, that are being killed on all sides tonight in the senseless war that is going on. So if you would just bow for a few moments of silence. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please be seated. Okay, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll move it. Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, motion passed. The next item is a motion to acknowledge the minutes of both the January 24th and separately the February 14th, 2022 minutes. Okay, so move second?
I'll second.
Second.
Okay, motion second, all in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passed. Next item is Todd and Mandy, would you come up? We're going to hear from one of our high school students on a project that is she's initiated along with support from some other high school students. This is a green initiative.
Thank you. So Mandy is a junior at Royce Ketchum High School. She's part of the Interact Club sponsored by the Rotary Club Wappingers Falls, Red Cross Club at Ketchum, and a few other things. She's actively involved at Ketchum and the community. So she's bringing this project to the town of Wappinger and to the town board called the Green Planet Alliance Project, which she will explain more, but currently we are collecting recyclable items to continue to make this project happen. So I'll pass it to her for her to explain the project to you guys.
Thank you, Todd. Mandy?
Thank you. So I think we're going to start off my first introduction by the slides. So the first image depicts a wildfire in the western United States, and the second depicts extremely dry, cracked land caused by drought, and the third is a deadly, powerful hurricane. And what these all images have in common is that they represent the effects of climate change and the alarming rise in global temperatures. So the impacts of climate change include warming temperatures, changes in precipitation, increases in the frequency or intensity of some extreme weather events, and rising sea levels. So what does this mean for us? These impacts threaten our health by infecting the food we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe, and the water we experience. So climate change is not just about science, because science can inform, but it cannot arbitrate, it cannot decide. Science can say that if we burn another 500 billion tons of carbon, the atmospheric content of carbon dioxide will go up by another 100 parts per million, and that will almost certainly lead to a warming of the planet greater than 2 Celsius, with major disruption of the climate system and huge risks for the natural world and human well-being. But it can't answer moral questions. The whole point of climate change is that despite having been revealed by science, it is not really about science. It is about what sort of world we want to live in and what kind of future we want to create. Therefore, we need to take drastic action now, so adapting to these impacts in the future will not be as difficult and costly. If you could change the slide. So, over the past couple of months, we've discussed creating a 6-foot sea turtle sculpture made entirely out of recyclable materials to raise awareness about climate change in our community. And the next slide. So some of the goals and objectives is to raise awareness, help people understand and address the impacts of the climate crisis, empowering them with knowledge, skills, and values, and attitudes needed to act as agents of change. And also to encourage more people to collaborate and become involved in the community. And lastly, to encourage others, especially young students, to take action and play an active role in serving others. And the next slide. And that one says reuse plastic bottles and save the earth. And the number you see here, which is 242 million, is the number that represents the tons of plastic waste that were generated in 2016 alone. And to give you visualization, that is enough trash to reach the moon and back 25 times. And the timeline of our project is we're going to be collecting materials from February 1st and March 7, 2022. And we had already announced the project. We're going to build the sculpture from March 7 to March 31st, and then finishing touches and the unveiling of the sculpture will be around Earth Day, to be determined. Current progress, we have set up 2 donation drop-off areas, and we started collecting materials, one outside Wapner Town Hall and another at Royce Ketchum High School. I would also like to express a warm thank you to Supervisor Thurston and the administrative team at RCK for supporting our projects, such as Mr. Seip and Mr. Lopez. And the next slide. So that's kind of our sculpture design that we are trying to incorporate into the community. I would like to ask the town board if they can designate an open area on the grass, preferably at local parks, to put the finished sculpture. The supervisor and Todd have mentioned that there will be an open space at Spook Hill Park, and the supervisor can speak to that a little more. We would also like to ask for the funding of an informational stand to be built in front of the sculpture, so anyone who wants to know more about it can read about the process of building and the purpose of sculpture creation. Todd will provide details on that soon, since we are looking at affordable options closely. And I think that ends my session. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the idea. Any ideas of any of the board members on possible location for the site? You know, that we have combination, a number of parks, of course. You know, there's could be here, you know, could be out at Schlott House, place that might be more accessible, you know, to the community. So those are some of the ideas, you know.
Certainly.
Yeah, I think we can discuss it, and we'll determine a place. There's so many.
I
that-
think,
and we may even be able to rotate it.
Yeah, I think we should take a look at how things dry out, because we don't want to put it in a park that's going to be underwater in the spring, which can happen. So I commend the student for coming before such a large crowd here to give her presentation. I'm sure she wasn't expecting that, right? But greatly appreciated. Thank you.
At least she got her word out.
Any other comments on the project? Okay. We have a time constraint for an interview, so we're going to break for executive session, interview a candidate for appointment as a planning board legal counsel. Then we'll come back, you know, for the rest of the meeting, you know, for how long it takes. So do I have a motion, you know, to break in the executive session?
Make that motion.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor? Aye. Any nays or abstentions? Seeing none, we'll break, and we'll be back here hopefully in not too much time. Thank you.